Okay, it's the rock finder. I just want to show you guys my collection a little bit. These are some pieces that I found recently. Had that in my last video. This little bird point that was in there, and this piece of pottery that I showed, it had a hole drilled through it. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they would have drilled a hole through it, but they did, so I don't know if you can see that better now or not. Kind of hear the fireworks going off in the background a little bit. 3rd of July, so that's that. And then these I've gotten from around by where I live. There's a field out here by my house that I have come across that has had some nice points in it. And there's about 3 different hills in this field that's got stuff on it. And that right there, I thought that was broken, but looks to me like it's been reworked on that edge a little bit. But would have been a lot bigger, but I guess they broke it and reworked it. And then this right here was the best day that I had out there in that field. I found this, and it was busted and pretty badly right there, but it's been reworked all through this part. I guess they busted it up a lot and reworked it all, but that would have been pretty nice if it wouldn't have been so crude. And then found that little piece right there. I don't know if I can show you guys the flaking on it really or not. Let's see. There you go. There's some nice flaking on that. I found that in the creek. Still got the part of that ear on there. That would have been a nice one. And that right there, that's probably the first one I come across on the one hill, and the flaking on that is excellent. It would have been a nice blade. And I don't really know what type of point that is, but I think that's neat. It's got that little notch in the base. It's got that little bitty notch right there. It's got some pretty nice flaking on it too. And just some broken stuff that I found out there. And this right here, it's a nice scraper, or I don't know if it would have been a flint axe or a scraper or what, but it's pretty thin. It's got some decent flaking on it. I found that out there. And then there's another field that I look at, and I was walking with my dad. My dad wasn't finding much, and I first got in the field and I picked this up. And a little bit later, I was walking, and I think it was the next row that we was walking. I looked over and said, "Look what I just found." I found that one. It had that little busted part off the base right there. That ear's missing. But if it would have had that on there, it would have been pretty nice. Then just some other points I found. Same field, I found this one right here, and found that little nice one right there in it. And then I found some of these around here and around this way. Found this one out there in that same field too. And then this right here, I don't know what kind of point that is, but we call it the guitar pick, because it's about the same size as a guitar pick, and it's shaped like one. It's got like a, I don't know if that's like a little notch right there in the side of that or not. And then another one right there, but that's got real nice flaking on it. It's paper thin. And then some other stuff. That one there is a pretty nice one too. And that's some broken stuff. That all come from one fill. I usually find mostly broken stuff. My dad found one full axe out there. It was, I think it was 3/4 groove. And then found that little cahokia, the same field that stuff was in. And I found a bunch of this stuff. Now that right there is probably one of the better points in my whole collection. That I found with my dad It's super thin too. It's got real nice flaking on it. I don't know if you can see that well or not. But it's got some nice flaking on it. And there's my little Missouri bird point. It's my little bitty bird point. My dad passed that one up. He looked at it and said, "Hey, there's a flake." And I walked over there and flipped it over. I was like, "I think that's got ears on it." Picked it up, sure enough, a little bitty old bird point. Smallest thing I've ever found. And that's about all I got in these cases. And then just a bunch of broken stuff that from random fields. I don't really remember where I found all that stuff at. And then it's a broken axe. One of the only ones I found. I found two of them. Got another one. I don't have it here, but this is got pretty crude. It's been beat up by a plow pretty bad, and then it's split in half. Split that thing right in half. Would have been a nice little axe to have, but it's broken. So, and then I've got this right here. I don't know what that would have been part of. Smoothed all around. My dad's got one like it. It's got the chunk missing out of it right there, and then this flat spot has been busted off, and this busted off. I found that in the field. I guess it got busted up by the plow or something, but I don't know what that would have been part of. Celts or I don't know. Ends rounded on it, so I don't know. Well, that's pretty well my whole collection, really. There's some other little pieces of pottery and some stuff. And some other stuff. And oh, I almost forgot my nut and stone. There's my nut and stone. I don't know if you can see that on there too well or not. There's a little indentation on this side. A little nutting spot right there. And then there's one on this side as well. A little nut and stone. So that's pretty well all I got. I got a few little snapped points that I've made. This right here is probably my biggest snapped point. It's made out of some TV screen glass. It's a big turkey tail serrated end that I've made. And then I got some other stuff that I made. Just a crude chunk of something I was just messing around with. Made that the other day. A little piece of plate glass. Didn't get flakes all the way across it. And then this made out of that same stuff. It didn't get flakes all the way across that one either. Nice little cahokia though. And then just a bunch of random little stuff that I've made. Some little big point I made. Just some cahokias and stuff like that I just kind of mess around with. I was gonna make that into something sometime. And got that. Got this thing that I mess around with. Made that. I don't know what type of point that would have been, but got all kinds of points right here that I've made. A bunch of them out of glass usually. That one right there. Broke the tip off that one. And stuff, so that's pretty well all the points I've made. And then I've got that so tomahawk thing that I made. It's got a little other handle on it. Stuff. And then there's an arrow I made. And that's about it. So I'll get back with you guys sometime when I get out in the field. Right now it's too muddy. It's been raining for the last 4 or 5 days in a row, so I get back out in the out in the field and I'll post another video of what I find. So bye.